10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You guys are live.
All right, welcome back to Score Trade Live. I'm Jared with my co-host Jake, and we are here to talk about the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Washington Wizards. Jake, I feel like we just had this game just a couple days ago.
A little quirkiness with the schedule there, Jared, right? The back-to-backs, the lack of travel throughout the course of the season, that's all played a part. And why we've had, a lot of matchups we, quite frankly, you just saw. That's been a theme. And you know what? Maybe we should train ourselves for that because the playoffs, they're series, and you get to see that same team, at least 4 straight times, depending on how it unfolds from there.
Yeah, and speaking of playoffs are right around the corner here. And, this does have a little bit of playoff implications with Washington. They're still trying to fight off the Chicago Bulls for the number 10 seed, but the Washington Wizards could possibly jump up into the number 9 seed if they get a win today. And I believe they also clinch the play-in game if they get the W today as well.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot on the line here from a Hawks standpoint. The Atlanta Hawks are in position right now based on tiebreakers. They're in the playoffs as the 4 seed as things currently stand right now. They have the same exact record as both the Knicks and the Heat. The Knicks right now, 38-31, based on the tiebreak, would be the 6 seed. So the final couple games here for the Hawks, the Heat, and the Knicks, I think they're as important of games as we can have all year, because think about the difference in the Eastern Conference of finishing as the 4 or 5 or the 6. 4 or 5, you might feel like you got a legitimate chance to win a first-round series. You finish as the 6, and you're taking on either Brooklyn or Milwaukee. Even if you're the most optimistic Knick fan or the most optimistic Hawk fan, it's going to be tough to envision your team winning 4 out of 7 games against a Bucks team or a Brooklyn team. So that's why, from a Hawk standpoint, this game's so important for them. And you've mentioned it with the Wizards, the way they're playing right now, and what Russ is doing. I think some of that's getting amplified because of the play and the fact that the Wizards, who got off to just a disastrous start, had something to play for throughout the year, and here they are on the cusp of being a playoff team.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And, they just played this game, was it a couple days ago, and they almost beat the Hawks without Bradley Beal. Now, of course, Bradley Beal will not be playing for this game either. I guess they're just saving him for the playoffs. He's out with a hamstring injury. And overall, it's very exciting. You just had, like you mentioned, Russell Westbrook breaking the triple-double record. And, now they need to get this win here to kind of propel themselves, have a little bit of momentum going into this playoff race here. It's going to be pretty exciting down the stretch. And you know what else is exciting, Jake?
Yeah.
I guess you didn't hear me. What else is exciting is we have all these prize drops here at Score Trade, and we're going to be showcasing that right now. Look at these Top Shot moments that we have up for grabs.
Oh, there you go. You cut out there. I didn't realize we were going to the Top Shot screen already. I mean, this is what it's all about here. I mean, look at all that. I mean, if you're playing Score Trade, you get an opportunity to win Top Shot. We're giving out the Dogecoin the other night. I mean, a lot of opportunities here with Score Trade for sure.
Yeah, a lot of goodness going on. Check out these moments. You got LaMelo Ball, with the dish to Bridges and slam. That's pretty solid. So that's up for grabs here for 100,000 coins. Little Carmelo Anthony action. You see that little fadeaway jumper?
That's my guy right there. The pride and joy of my Knick fandom over the last 20 years.
And then you got a little, was that a Klay Thompson in the court? No, that is, I can't tell from here.
Looks like it's a Draymond dish, but I'm trying to see who he's dishing it to. Is that Bazemore?
Draymond dish. Nonetheless, it was a good shot. A little Zach LaVine action there. And then you got Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard with the buzzer beater 3.
Well, step back too. Yeah, that's gotta be quite valuable on the Top Shot market for sure.
Here's your Knicks.
RJ, yeah, throw it down.
Right over the Bucks too. Get out of here.
He had a brutal game last night, but he's capable of moments like that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Pretty solid stuff. Oh, here comes another one. Is that more New York Knicks action? You got D Rose with the reverse layup.
Rose.
Hey, this guy, Derrick Rose, he's really, really come to play this year. I've really been impressed.
He's been phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, look, when the Knicks got him, they gave up a second-round pick and Dennis Smith Jr., who was down in the G League for them. And, to get the type of production they've gotten from Derrick Rose, it's been unbelievable.
You got Trae Young from the logo. That's been pretty normal for him lately. Here's a little Zach LaVine fast break. So that is a nice one. If you're a Bulls fan, definitely come get that. Little alley-oop action.
Man, if Levine didn't get hurt, you feel like the Bulls would have been in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the playoffs, were they not? A little Aaron Gordon action there from the Orlando Magic. Now, yeah, they made all those trades at the deadline, Jake, and thought they were going to make a run, but just kind of fell the other way.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. It's tough when you deal with the injuries, man, and you're a team that doesn't have a whole lot of depth. That's what happens.
A little Devin Booker. So those are some of the fun, exciting prizes you can get your hands on here. Just collect those score trade tokens and cash them in, and those top shot moments can be yours for the taking.
That's what it's all about. Having those moments and getting a chance to compete with the best of the best here at SCORETRADE.
Absolutely. Now, don't forget, we also have a pair of Air Force Ones up for grab. We have a 1-year subscription to ESPN Plus, and you also have Madden 2022 and also some Dogecoin still in the mix. So, guys, definitely collect those tokens. You get first place you get 1,000 tokens for first place, Jake, 500 for second, 250 for third, and fourth place is 100 tokens, and fifth place is 50 tokens. And the good thing here is, Jake, there's 8 total tournaments. So if you happen to win all 8 tournaments, which is 100% free to play, that's 8,000 tokens right off the bat. And also, if that's not even that's not even the best part about this. For every person that you refer SCORETRADE to, and they sign up under your username, you get a bonus 500 tokens into your account.
That's the beauty of it right there, right? You have a good time on SCORETRADE. You want to win some prizes, tell your friend, tell your family, get them in the mix and compete with them as well.
Yeah. Then there'll be, you'll accumulate all those tokens, then you'll be able to flash off some of these top shots or your Dogecoin, and and that's the most awesome part about it. And then, not to mention, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be so much more cool stuff being given away here on SCORETRADE, and by far 100% free to play, a lot of fun, innovative company. So I'm excited to be a part of it, just like I know you are, Jake. And I'm also excited about this basketball getting ready to get started here. If you look at the props, Trae Young starting off at 57 cents. Now, we just saw a top shot of him shooting from half court like it was just a regular jump shot. So here, all he has to do is get 6 points, and he's over that total already.
It's not hard for Trae Young to go off, and that's why you see his price before we even tip things off here. 57 cents. So it's not cheap, but if he hits a 3 early, it's going to go way higher. So if you feel good about Trae Young, you better buy it now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you buy it now and he hits the first 3-point shot, I would just sell it right then and there. And take your profits, lock up your profits, and reinvest your money elsewhere. Now, Russell Westbrook, he's at 55 cents for the under 6 points and 45 cents if you want to go over. So, 45 cents a share to go over the 6. Now, just like we mentioned a couple of days ago when we did this particular matchup, no Bradley Beal, so the ball will be pretty much going through Russell Westbrook's hands. The good news here for Westbrook is he's already got that record-breaking triple-double. So, I think we'll probably get a regular game here where he's not trying to, get enough assists and get enough rebounds. I think maybe he'll just take over a scorer's role here.
No doubt. The guy I'm looking at here is Clint Capella. I feel like Clint Capella, there's some value here. 4+ points by the end of quarter 1 from the Hawks. I could see this being a fast-paced game. I could check the total on what Capella ended up with the last time these two teams played. But I like Capella. It's only 47 cents. I think there's some value there with Clint Capella here. All it takes, you're a Rockets fan, Jared. You watch them up close. All it takes is Capella pick and roll with Trae Young or just underneath the hoop, offensive rebound, lay it back in. I think he goes over 4 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, easy money. Clint Capella for the season. Let's see here. Oh, I was pulling up here. I did have his I don't have it anymore. his season average. I believe it was somewhere around 17 points or so. So yeah, not a bad play. Game is just tipped off, and we already have Washington Wizards up 2-0. Let's see who scored that if I can. Was not Westbrook. So, and it was Rui Hachimura. He only needs one more point, Jake, and he is already going to cash if he gets one more point.
Rui is already at 92 cents a share here. My goodness.
Yeah, one more point. You know what? There's some value in the under there because, the ball doesn't get facilitated through Rui much. So at 8 cents, you could put a little sprinkle on that. Just a little sprinkle, and you might be able to cash out big.
Yeah, maybe you only buy one share on that. I mean, at 8 cents, it's not a bad play. You're right.
No.
Because then, you could start to sell it as the quarter goes on and on and on. And if he's not hitting his total, and it's not going to take much for that number from 8 to go up. So maybe that's the move right here. I'm going to go a little.
I just bought 1,000 shares.
1,000.
1,000. It doesn't take much. That was only $80. So 80 ScoreTrade dollars buys you 1,000 at 8 cents. So let's say, if it goes up to 20, you cash out, you got a nice little profit there.
Yeah, I have 96 shares of Rui not to score 3+. So we're on that together right now.
You have 96 shares, and I have 1,000. I'm a little more invested than you.
You went all in with your shares then.
Well, yeah. Well, no, because it's only 8 cents, so I only spent 80 bucks.
Yeah, I'm so used to this not being, so used to this being so cheap. It's just wild to look at.
The other day, I had Doug McDermott. He needed to go over 4. He shot a 3-pointer in the first couple seconds of the quarter, and he was up to 8 cents, just like this was. And I put every single dollar I had. I bought 6,200 shares of Doug McDermott, and I cashed out. And it was like $6,000 or $5,500 is what I ended up with by the end of the quarter.
That's what you got to do, right? You got to play the board, play kind of get a feel for how the game's going, and then strike while the iron's hot here.
Absolutely. All right, we got 4-2 Atlanta here. Let's see here. John Collins with 1 point. His number's already gone up to 73 cents. I think there's some decent value on the under there as well. Right now, sitting at 27. And you got Bogdanovich with a 3-pointer. Only needs one more to cash. What would be remarkable if all of these guys that are on the list would cash. More than likely, Lou Williams will not. I don't even think he's starting today. He'll probably come in towards the end of the quarter. But
that's
pretty cool.
If you play the matchups there with Lou Williams, like we talked about on Monday's program, same thing, right? Kind of read the substitution patterns and see where he's at.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so right now, as far as Lou Williams goes, I would just, there's some value buying the under right now because that number is just going to keep rising. And if you see him come in the game, sell and lock up some of that profit, if that makes sense.
Really, what I've learned here is the key to ScoreTrade is you gotta think like a coach. You gotta think like you're monitoring the substitution patterns. I mean, you gotta be locked into the game and seeing who's out there, how much time's left. Could they come back in if they call a quick timeout, get the guy a rest so they don't have to use game clock and get him back in at the end of a quarter. There's a lot happening here with the ScoreTrade.
Yeah, and you also have to be careful because if a player goes out with injury and he goes to the locker room, just like we thought yesterday with Kemba Walker, we're like, oh, let's just go ahead and buy all the under. And then all of a sudden, here comes Kemba Walker, running right back out on the court. And, it screwed me up for sure. So, you got to be careful with these injuries, and you got to know if the guy's actually going to be out or not. And that's one of the beautiful parts about watching the game is you get a good feel. Now, you can play this game without watching it, but the ones that are watching, I feel like, are definitely have an advantage because you can see how the game play is playing out. And you can also use that information to help you out with future quarters, like the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And, maybe Russell Westbrook is in foul trouble. So now you'll know in the second quarter, he probably won't play as much. So therefore, you can go ahead and maybe bet his under or trade for his under and cash in pretty good. So that's the lovely part about ScoreTrade. It's pretty much like fantasy basketball, fantasy sports, and insider trading, which is the fun parts of everything. That's the fun part of the stock market. That's the fun part of fantasy, watching sports is collecting those fantasy points.
Hey, you don't go to prison for insider trading on ScoreTrade here, which is
that's right. It's actually encouraged. Martha Stewart would love this game.
A friend of the show, Martha Stewart. Actually, I had her on my radio show about a year and a half ago. And the funniest thing, I'll tell this story to the Score Trade audience. So her handlers came up to us before the interview. They're like, "We're excited to have her on. You know, she's ready to talk about her Super Bowl commercial she did with Snoop Dogg. Just one thing, no questions about her time in jail." And I'm all right, no problem.
Oh man, that would have been hilarious if you were like, "Yeah, so yeah, tell me about the insider trading." So I'm sure she's trying to get away from that.
Crazy, right? Crazy.
Yeah. So so let's see here. Now we got 4-9. No, it's 9-9. 9-9. Atlanta's tied up with 8 minutes, 29 seconds left in the game. You got Russell Westbrook already with 4 points, Jake. Totals up. The price is 87 cents a share. He only needs 2 more points to cash. It seems like it's a fairly good moving game here right now. Trae Young, relatively quiet with 2 points, but like we mentioned before, that could happen. That guy could just go off at any moment.
Yeah, it doesn't take much for him for sure. And you know, same thing with Russ too. I mean, once he gets kind of in the flow of the game here, if he starts slashing, I mean, it could be quick layups, and it won't take much for him to go over his prop total as well.
Right. All right, Rui Hachimura's price has gone to 9 cents now, so I got a little bit of value there. I went from 8 cents to 9 cents. So hopefully that thing. Oh no, Rui just scored. No.
And that's it.
Scored.
My big move backfired. My plan was going to be to sell the second we got a little closer, and I rolled the dice. I put all my shares in Rui because I wanted a big splash to send a message to the Score Trade community. I'm for real, and instead, I now have no money left, so I'm out.
Jake, you got $4.
my big play tonight was all in on Rui, and I was just about to sell, and then I saw him slash and lay it in, and I'm like, well, that's it. But that's what's great about Score Trade, because there's contests in the second, third, and fourth quarter, so I'll be okay.
Yeah. So, you know, you're out this one. You made a move. You made a risky play, which is what it's all about. And if it worked out, it would have paid off, and you probably would have won the tournament. However, it didn't pay off, and guess what? The second quarter is right around the corner, and you can make some more moves, and you get to watch the game. You know, look, I got hurt by that too. I think I would have done really well if he would have, not scored anymore. But you know what? We got to move on. But you're right, man. You can get right back into the game here in the second quarter. So, and you know, this goes all the way through tonight. There'll be another game tonight as well. So just keep watching. Your Score Trade app, it'll keep you updated. It also, you can watch your NBA games all through the NBA playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be fun to be able to experience Score Trade all the way through the NBA Finals. Hopefully it's going to be a great matchup, which I'm sure it will. My prediction is going to be the Brooklyn Nets versus the Phoenix Suns.
Still going with your Brooklyn belief. You know, your guy James Harden might be back tonight potentially, so that could be big for getting the Nets rolling here just in time for the playoffs.
Yeah, you got to stay out of those strip clubs, James. I mean, I know that can be damaging. That was the reason for the setback or the hamstring injury was the strip club incident. I'm sure of it. Strip clubs can be hard on those hamstrings, man.
You're right. I mean, look, I mean, how much can I really get into this here? Well, let's just say I've heard some stories from some people in the know about a certain former Rocket at some strip clubs in the city of Houston.
Yeah, he had his jersey hung from the rafters. You know, you're a legend if that's the case.
I can confirm that as well. I have seen that in person.
You have you really? You went there for some investigating journalism, I'm sure.
A hard-hitting, investigative research. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, you're gonna have to compare notes when I get back in town. So it looks like Clint Capella, he has 3 points now. So he is well on his way to cash in the over. Somehow, Jake, I'm in second place. I don't know how, but I guess I'm just really good at this game. But even worrying about my Rui problem here, it seems to be no issue at all.
Yeah, and that was the thing with Capella. I should have probably just played that instead of my bold Rui move that backfired in spectacular fashion here. But it doesn't take much for Capella, man. Like, if they get him involved early, he's already at 3 points, right? You're talking about a player that, gets fouled a lot, so he can go to the free throw line and hit a couple points. So you're talking about only it was over 4, I think. Like, that's not hard for Clint Capella to do in a quarter. We've seen this so many times before.
Yeah, actually, when you were talking about Clint, I was like, you know what? He's right. I'm gonna go ahead and buy some of that right now, and that's what I did. So I owe you the Clint money here. Is what I bought 400 shares on your recommendation.
Well, it's unfortunate I don't get any commission in ScoreTrade for recommendation advice, because if I took my own advice, I wouldn't be down to $4 right now.
Yep. Now the Lou Williams prop is down to 77 cents. It's probably because he's not playing. And you have Gallinari. He is a New York great. The New York Knicks great. Gallinari, no points either.
And that's the key thing, right? I mean, if you're going to play the under in a Lou Williams prop, I mean, you want the fastest first quarter possible. You don't want fouls. You don't want any stoppage in the action. Like, TV timeouts will kill you. Coaching timeouts will kill you. Like, if you're going to play a bench player, someone coming off the bench, the under is the move if you get the right type of game. From what I can tell so far watching this a little bit here, it's 13-12, kind of low scoring, a lot of missed shots. Like, there hasn't been that many pauses in the action. So,
right.
Like, it makes sense that Lou Williams' number would continue to rise. He's not in yet, and there's already, a decent chunk of the first quarter already played.
Yeah, we're already about halfway done with the first quarter. Just to give an update on the leaderboard here. Oh, and it looks like Westbrook just went over his total. So cash that if you're a Westbrook backer. JP9 currently in first place. Congratulations, my man. Keep it going. Second place, MACP 22584. Man, you could have made it a little easier on me. He's in second place. Josh is in third. Big Mar 21. He is a regular here. Big Mar 21. I see him every single day on the leaderboard in fourth place. I'm in fifth, followed by JMC 19, Kobe, Utah Man, and then Boo, and then, believe it or not, Jake is in number 9.
Holding it down. No one will be lower than me. The you don't want to be where I am, folks.
You guys, you can literally log on right now and start with your 500 and be way ahead of Jake right now.
You could log on, do nothing, and boom, your portfolio crushing mine.
Oh man, yeah. Actually, if you log on right now, you'll be in 8th place, 7th place. So come on in.
Yeah, just join in. While you're there, use one of the promo codes that are available for you, so you can get 500 free tokens as well.
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody sign up under Jake Osmond's name so we can get him some token points here, so he can cash in on some of these Air Force Ones. You'll be looking fly going down to the club there in Houston.
Yeah, my referral code is Asman Jake. So please, ASMAN Asman Jake, and boom, you're in.
You're in. All right. So about a little more than 5 minutes left in this first quarter, this first tournament here. Gallinari, no points. Yeah, Clint Capella still needing a 1. What do you think, man? Should I go for the? Oh, never mind. He just cashed. So Clint Capella over. I was about to do something silly there and bet his under there.
There it is. Doesn't take much for Clint.
Nope. All right. So the only active props we have now is John Collins, Gallinari, and Lou Williams. Everyone else is already cashed. So we only got 3 props to go. So with the current amount or current state of affairs here in this first tournament, where do you think the value is if you are, in 5th place, 6th place, 7th place to try to leapfrog to get to the first place?
Yeah, I think you got to just ride the Lou Williams trade right now. I mean, there's really not many options for you. I mean, I hope you took some of the advice earlier when you had the most recent TV timeout and we're all over, the under on Lou Williams, because I'm looking at it here, it's already up to 86 cents. Like, if you're going to try and buy it now, you're not getting that much of a profit when you sell it, or if his prop doesn't hit.
So since you can't take the ScoreTrade dollars with you from tournament to tournament, and if you're way down on the leaderboard here, I would say that probably the best case scenario here, if you're trying to leapfrog to first, is buy the over on Lou Williams, because it's such a low price. And if you get lucky, he knocks down a 3-pointer with a minute left in the quarter, then you're solid, right?
I think that's the move. And, we got to come up with a term for that. In football, it's the Hail Mary. You're
right
down, you just need a play, you just throw it up, you hope you get a break. What's the Hail Mary equivalent of just dumping all your shares to, play the contrarian role here? So it'd be, Lou Williams at 12 cents a share, 3+ points, end of quarter 1. And then, maybe you can make some magic there if he gets hot here.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I'll send him a plate of lemon pepper wings if this hits here. But um, yeah, we got to come up with a nice term there because I mean that's exactly what I did. I just bought 6,700 shares of Lou Williams to go over the 3 points.
It's like they say when you pass away, you don't get to keep your money, in the grave. You don't get to keep it. It's score trade. Contest is over at the end of the first quarter. You don't get to roll that into the second quarter. You might as well spend it.
Yeah, it's not an IRA, guys. You can't roll it over. So we got to. And right now the price is 11 cents. So man, I hope he comes in here and jacks up a 3 and it goes in. That'd be insane.
That's what you need for sure. I mean, you could fade John Collins as well. It's not as low as Lou Williams, but John Collins right now, he's at the free throw line, so his number is going to obviously continue to go down as he hits these shots. But Collins' total right now is at 3 points. It's to not score 4 points by the end of quarter one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance maybe they sub him. There's maybe some value there with John Collins.
That's not a bad play. Not a bad play. Now, you said he's at the foul line right now?
John Collins is at the foul line.
So if he hits one more, it's over.
And well, actually, let me check this here. So he just made the second free throw. So he made 2 out of 2. So
so he has 3 points.
Right. So Collins right now is at 3 points. There's 4:36 to go in the first quarter. This is an opportunity here where maybe you buy low, sell high potentially with him.
That's probably a better play than the Lou Williams play because there's a chance, considering it's late in the first quarter, that he does go out. John Collins has had a handful of injuries this year, so they're right around the corner for the playoffs. They don't want to overexert him, so that's probably the play. Honestly, Jake, that's a pretty good look for you by you.
I'm getting better at this. If only I took some of my own advice before I put it all in Rui and lost all my money.
Hey, the Rui play was a good one, man. I don't know how many total points he has now, but I thought the Rui play was pretty solid. I even co-signed on that. I just didn't go as deep as you did.
You know what they say? If you ain't first, you're last. So I was going for it.
And of course, Rui's only scored 4 points this whole quarter. So
exactly. That was it. He just killed my score trade contest, and then he was doing nothing the rest of the quarter.
Oh man, Lou Williams is down to 6 cents a share. My investment is going into the tank right now.
It's tough for you. I mean, Lou Williams not even on the court yet. Like it doesn't even seem like they're going to sub him in.
Lou Williams is probably not even he's probably not even playing today.
Is he playing? Where's Lou Williams at?
Well, if I lose this, Jake, I'll have less cash than you, so I'll actually be in ninth place.
At least you got to participate in the quarter, though. I was done about 2 minutes into the quarter.
Yeah, I have I guess a little bit of a sweat here. All right, so what's your take? What's your prediction for NBA Finals? I got Suns and Brooklyn Nets. What's your thoughts?
I'm going to put Philly in the finals. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm buying the Sixers. I don't think it's going to be the Nets. I think it's either Philly or it's going to be the Bucks. And I think Philly's at a distinct advantage because if they're the 1 seed, they have an easier path. Like not having to deal with the Nets and Milwaukee until either one of those teams till the conference finals, I think is huge. And I just don't. Brooklyn to me is the best team, but I don't trust their health. And I don't like the fact that these guys have played 7 total games together entering the playoffs. Like chemistry to me matters. Cohesion matters. Like facing adversity in the regular season as a team and overcoming that just matters to me. So I think this is like, LeBron and the Heat year 1 where they go to the finals and they lose. They needed to have that moment to come back in year 2 and then win the championship that year. I don't know if the Nets are even getting to the finals, unlike what the Heat did. So I'm kind of fading Brooklyn here. I'm out on them. I could be dead wrong. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, they're that good. They're that talented. But for those reasons, I'm going with Philly. And then out west, man, until I see the Lakers not go to the finals, I'm still going with the Lakers. My finals stance has not changed. LeBron should be healthy by the playoffs, and they just play such good defense, man. I watched it against the Knicks last night. Like, they're down a bunch of their primary ball handlers, obviously LeBron. They're without a bunch of other dudes, but because they defend so well, and ultimately they'll have the best 2 players on the court in any playoff series, it's just tough for me to pick against the Lakers.
No, I don't blame you for that. It's me more wishful thinking that the Lakers just go off and die and call it a season. And I'm happy. I'm one of the guys that are actually happy with them in the playoff tournament or the play-in tournament. for a couple of reasons. One, it's going to be high drama, and two, I'm hoping that they don't win. So, for that, that's why I'm hoping that the Lakers just fall apart. And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, look, LeBron James has been great his whole career. He has not really suffered any injuries. I think that first year he was with the Lakers, he had that groin injury, but they also knew they were not even going to make the playoffs that year, so they went ahead and shut him down. I believe this year it's his first real injury with that ankle. So he's getting older. Eventually, his body's going to start breaking down. A lot of tread, or there's not much tread left on those tires, I would imagine. He's been superhuman. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if
you're right.
This is the breakdown here.
You're right. I mean, that's the big question, right? If he's healthy, obviously he's LeBron, but this is the first year where maybe there's, some signs of an aging player, which is going to happen. I mean, he's 36 years old. Like LeBron has had the longest prime out of any all-time great athlete, I think, in the history of sports. I mean, this is a kid that came into the league at 18. He's been in an all-star game every year since his rookie season. So it's like you're talking about a guy that's, been the best player in the NBA for going on how long now? So You're right. Eventually, Father Time catches up with everyone. I think what helps the Lakers is they have Anthony Davis, so they maybe can rely more on him. If LeBron could still be, maybe not what he was from a couple of years ago, but still be, the number 2 to AD's 1, that still might be good enough given the depth and the defense the Lakers play to go on a run. And they're the only team in the West that's done it. Like they're battle tested. They proved it. That to me matters as well. So we'll see how that ultimately plays out.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And we're going to see how the rest of this tournament plays out. Right now, looks like we're at the 3-minute mark. I think they're at a timeout right now. Is that what you got over there, Jake?
We're in a timeout, 25-23. Atlanta's up by 2. 2:55 to go in the first quarter. So, obviously it's winding down here for contest number 1 of the night here with SCORETRADE.
Yep. And guys, don't forget Top Shot. NBA Top Shot is up for grabs. We had a little showcase of what was available. Definitely go check that out, and definitely keep grinding here on SCORETRADE. Get those tokens so you can cash in for some of those amazing Top Shot moments. Also, we have 100 Dogecoin up for grabs, so keep going after that. It looks like Dogecoin took a dip in market value, so that's good. That means those 100 coins you're going to get more for more bang for your buck, I guess. So, they can turn around and go up. And then you also have the Air Force Ones up for grab, and also ESPN Plus, also Madden. So a lot of good stuff here. And then, but overall, guys, we're going to be talking about this Top Shot stuff, which is just amazing. It's taken over. It's actually all taking over the the landscape here. So came out of nowhere for me. And then next thing you know, my kids are talking about NBA Top Shot this and NBA Top Shot that. And then I was like, what are you talking about? And then it turns out I'm the guy that has no clue what I'm talking about. Everybody, this is all the rage, Jake.
It is the thing right now. And wait till you see other sports get involved too. I'm sure there'll be a football version. There'll be a baseball version. All that's coming. The NBA is kind of leading the way here with Top Shot. So I'd imagine as SCORETRADE evolves, there'll be some, football Top Shot, baseball Top Shot. We're going to get in the mix here with everything that's going on.
Yeah, companies like Topps, they just launched their own NFT version of these kind of, collectibles and trade collectibles, and also the players like LeBron. Those guys are all into this as well. So this is just the beginning. So if you come in here and get these original moments, these original digital collectibles, these are what's going to be worth a lot of money 10, 15 years from now. Because these are the originals. Because eventually this stuff is going to be way too hard to collect, going forward. So that's where it's at.
It's basically like an investment. You're getting in at it on the ground floor almost.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. So it looks like we're winding down here. We only got 90 seconds left in this game. And my Lou Williams prop going nowhere fast, Jake. Is he in the game? Can you tell if he's in the game?
It's tough. He's not in the game, and that's what's going to kill you here. He actually just checked in and had an assist. So he checked in, he was saying that he just got in. So he's in. So you could, it's not over just yet. I mean, we've seen Lou Williams, take a couple threes, immediately get in the game and, make some magic happen.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I'm telling you there's a chance. Yes.
All right. 70 seconds here. before we go off air, but we got to see if Lou Williams can catapult me to greatness. And I'll have to send him a plate of lemon pepper wings as my gratitude. And yeah, that's be a lot of fun here.
A lot
yeah,
of references to some entertainment venues in tonight's show.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get, especially when I'm on the road. So
That's true. You're not coming live from the sports book tonight. You had enough.
yeah. Well, like I told you, that was the worst sports book I've ever been in my entire existence, man. Had 4 TVs, and they were like, like I said, you could go to a Buffalo Wild Wings, and you have a better venue than that sports book.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is crazy. Very highly disappointed. I'll have to write them a Google review.
Strongly worded letter as well.
So I was like, don't you know who I am? No.
You didn't get recognized for your SCORETRADE fame?
Exactly. I don't know what's going on here. Well, when you're in West Virginia, there's not much going on in this state. So
it's a fair point.
No offense to anybody that might be watching from West Virginia, but there ain't nothing going on here. I promise you.
I'm watching Lou Williams for you here, man. I mean, he looks ready to put up some shots. He's crashing the boards right now. Let's see if they get him the ball down the stretch here.
Come on, Lou.
He just took a shot. He missed a 19-foot pull-up, so he's trying.
There's only 30 seconds left in the game, so I'm assuming it's probably too little too late. It's going to have to be one of those last-second heaves. I should just sell so I don't become in last place right now.
Yeah, it'd be nice not to come in last after all that, but I wasn't going to say anything, and then you just realized.
Nah, I'll go ahead and keep it riding.
You're going to ride it down? Maybe I won't come in last then. Wow.
It says it's closed here. There's 5 seconds left, and I lost. RIP to me. But somehow, I guess I had some other stocks elsewhere, so I did not finish last. Actually, Boo finished last place. He's in 9th place with $1.80 left to his name. So congratulations, Jake. You did not lose the whole tournament.
I call that a win, considering I had no move to make from when I was down to $4. So to not come in last, I consider that one of the more important moments in my career.
That's solid. All right, first place, JP9. Congratulations, followed by Big Mar, MacP 22584 in 3rd. Josh in 4th, Colby, Utah Man in 5th. Congratulations to all our winners. Guys, don't forget, there's another tournament right around the corner here. But my time and Jake's time is gone. We're done with. We'll see you guys tomorrow on another edition of SCORETRADE Live. I'm Jared for my friend Jake.